hello, I thought I would do a reading journal update to set up for September. I'm gonna set up the month, and then I've already read a book in September because it is the 10th currently. So I've already finished a book this month. So I'm gonna show you how I update that throughout the whole book. Okay. So these are my reviews. Reviews is a loose word. It's just my thoughts and then a little bit about the book to remember later. Okay. New page. I do the same setup every month. So I have cut out the pages. Oh, and I need these and my ruler. Okay. I'm gonna go in with my pencil and we recreate this every month. I just decorate it a little bit differently. So I'm just gonna do the pencil lines for where everything goes. I'm doing the magical readathon this month, but I do my magical readathon setup in my yearly pages that I will show you later. Because I used to do it with like these, and I just found it a little messy because it doesn't really flow the way I like. Okay, I think this is 12. 3, 6, 9, yeah, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12, and I think that's, yep, 3, and then 3, 3, 3, 5, and then another 3. These lines probably make very little sense to you, but they're just guidelines for where to put all of my pages. But are you guys participating in the magical readathon this year? I have participated in it since the beginning of it being Aurelium. I was not a consumer of BookTube when it was Harry Potter themed, because I know it has been longer than it's been going for longer than its current iteration. That corner is just not quite as round as it should be, but it's fine. I love seeing everybody's super fancy decorated, all of the stickers, reading journals, and I wish that I could be that person. but it becomes too overwhelming for me to keep up with, and then I won't use it, and the amount of stuff that I already add into this can be too much sometimes, so I keep it simple and I decorate here, and that's it. While we're doing this craft paper, I'm just gonna flip to the first page and we're gonna glue these in. Yep. I am a creature of habit, and I love consistency. So having everything match is very aesthetically pleasing to me, but it also helps the like mindlessness of when I have to set up a new month, because I essentially just have to copy myself. And remember to turn your book the right way, because I've done that in past years. My desk is extra creaky today, and I don't know why, so I apologize. Same with my chair. My chair is also always creaky, but is a little bit extra today. There we go. I will fix that later because I don't feel like fighting with this pen. There is a lot of ink left in this pen, but some days it's just like, I don't know, Michaela. I don't really want to cooperate with you. Okay. Dries fairly quickly. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, let's do that first. Mix things up. Okay. So then these tabs go on this way. And the way I tab it is so that when I tab, I go straight to here. It's always on the left. Line up the little emoji head. It's a little finicky just because they're small. And then, even though that looks straight, I will check. Because it looks straight, but it's a little far away. Let's try this. Oh, that was barely in frame. That looks better. And then just fold it over because it's lined up on the back. So it doesn't really matter if it's fully lined up on the front. Okay. Back to... Are we going to do it this way? Let's do it this way. Okay. This gets cut in half. Okay. And then I alternate these little decorations every month. So I just flip back 2 months and then copy whatever this is. Okay. Now to ink in these lines. Okay. Now for September. Okay. Okay. Some math was involved in figuring that out. I'm going to ink in the title in this marker size. And this is the micron, PWM micron 03. Now we're going to take, micron 005. Add these little leafy things. And then pull out my circle template. And I use the third one. I only really have room for 4 books on my TBR. So I have to pick the ones that I want to prioritize. I have written out all of the books that I want to read for the Magical Readathon and some extra ones. So I'm just going to take the list from here. Just double checking because I've already read 2 books this month, so I will add those 2. I usually roll over whatever I didn't read from these 4 for the next month, but I don't see myself finishing this unless I complete everything on my Magical Readathon TBR, and I don't think I'm going to do that, so we will not roll that over, but that is a background rollover. Then I skip a dot, so there is a gap between the books, and then read the next one. way as we go, these can go back in the back. Decoration. I use these girl stickers from Marigold Silly Art, and I also alternate which way they face. So August was on the right, July on the left. So I need a girl on the left, so she's gotta be like, I can't do her because I don't want, you know, that would be weird. That looks better. Bookish. So I want her holding, that would maybe do this girl. Oops, sorry. So I'm thinking her, or maybe this girl. My theme, I try and kind of match it to my bullet journal theme. And my bullet journal theme was like fall books. So she's got the books and she's got the fall. Or maybe even her with a tote bag. I'm feeling her. Okay. So now I have a formula. She's gonna go in this corner. But I don't fully stick her down. A little something here, 3 here, 3 here. I don't have any books in this. I try and use these. Let me see what other little... Okay, I changed my mind. We're gonna go with this girl. We don't need to talk about it. I looked into other options and nothing was sparking joy. So, like I said, I add a little bit to their feet usually. Let's see if I can. If we use a smaller flower.
I try to play around until I like when it looks like I have it back to past ones. To see how
Okay. This is what we're gonna go with. After much deliberation and indecisiveness. Okay, now for the lines for these, I always copy this. One up, one over, 3 little petals. That doesn't really leave a lot of room over here, but okay, now the purpose of this is to add a quote. So throughout the month, as I read different books, I highlight or mark down or take a photo of a quote that I like. This one, I haven't inked it in, but it's just in pencil. I think same with this one. So that is the goal. I have been saving them, I just haven't been writing them in. So I will look out for those this month. Let's erase these. And then let's move on to filling in an example. Okay, so we'll flip to the start of the book and we'll go through my yearly pages. This is my rating system. I don't always follow this to a T, sometimes it's just vibes, but I still have not inked in my goals because even it's now September, I cannot concretely decide on anything. This is my book points. So I get points for different things reading wise. Like if I own a book, I get extra points and that sort of thing. My statistics, my bingo boards that I also have not inked in. I'm gonna have to just pick a day and just ink in all of these yearly pages that are not finished. I do keep track of these. I haven't been marking them down here, but in the back of the book, I keep track of when I complete a goal, and then this page is my book tokens. So for every 3 books that I read, I get to mark it off, and then that earns me a book. These little circles that I have written in means that I redeemed those tokens. My reading log, where I write down everything. This is just for me to easily flip to. Okay, so the second book that I read in September is The Poppy War. So I'm going to write in The Poppy War and then who it's by. I don't remember what I rated it, so I'm going to leave that, and then the day that I finished it. And then I have these little tiny icons from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I just mark what type, like how I read it. So this would be physical, ebook, and audio. For forgot to do it for fall shook up. So this was on my Kindle, and then I listened to the Poppy War. Oops. Okay, I will go back and add my star ratings later. Then I mark off my book tracker. So that was book 54. So I color in book 54 with this month's color. I alternate between these three every 3 months so that I know how many books I read in each month. This is my series tracker. So I get to add the Poppy War to this. I think the series is called the Poppy War Trilogy. Well, mistakes happen. I've been doing it so long that these mistakes don't bug me as much anymore. And then circle template. And I only add series to this that I'm going to read more from the series. So I did not add the series that Fall Shook Up is a part of because I looked through the other books and I only plan on reading that one. I am not confident that those two are in the correct order, but we're gonna go with it. And then these are in green and these ones are in yellow. I use this one to mark the books that I have read this year, and the green are for if I read it prior to 2025. My genre tracker that I didn't add enough space for the romance section, so I don't know if I'm bringing this back or if I'm gonna do it in a different way for next year. I have these stickers that I honestly don't know where I got them from. I got them, I don't even know how long ago I got them. I think I've had them for a few years at least. I lied. They are from Walmart. Yes, they're from that weird thing. That really didn't make any sense. 54. I wanted to be able to keep track because when I did this last year, I just added, like, checked off what section they were from, and it became very difficult to keep track of which ones I had logged and which ones I hadn't. You will also notice that number 53 is not on here. It was a romance. There's no room for romance. I'm not adding it to sci-fi or other. I thought about it. We're leaving it. At the end of the year, I will be adding my favorite reads to here. I don't know if I'm just going to write them out or if I'm going to print out the covers. We will see. My alphabet challenge on the left side is the author name, and on the right side is the cover, like the title of the book. I write these in a pencil because sometimes I change things out if I read a book later in the year that's really meaningful. I cannot add anything because P is already accounted for the Poppy War, and K is already accounted for Quan, because I go by last name. So can't do anything here. These ones, these are my 2 yearly challenges that I do. Kayla's Buzzwordathon, and then Read Your Shelf from, I can't remember her account name. It's something reads all the time. But I'm gonna go back at the end of the year and look over this. I've marked a few off that I know will work, but we'll come back to this later. These are my 25 and 2025. I can mark this one off. So there's little stickers from the shop Girl in Read. These little stars. That goes on the corner. I only have like 6 left to complete. That's really cool. I don't know if I'm gonna get to these 2. It's a whole nother thing, but this is the closest I've ever gotten in all of the years that I've done this kind of challenge for. That I may complete all of them. So this one, I can't get a copy of the book, so I might switch this out for something else. And then this one, as long as I start it by the end of the year, I think that'll count. Okay, this is my magical readathon section. You're red, and you are red. There, can't do anything with that. This is my year in Elia. I am behind for these 2 prompts. They're graphic novels. I'm going to try and read them at the end of the month. If not, I'll read them in October, which is totally fine. And that brings us back to the monthlies. So then I go in here. This is a start of a new 4 color rotation. So we're on yellow. I have already read Fall Shook Up, and we were going through with the Poppy War. And then that brings us to this. So I'm not going to write my review, but I will set up Fall Shook Up so you can see how I do it. So I write the title in quotations. And then I write the author's name next to it. Then underneath that, I write genre. And this was a romance. And then I write date. I finished this on, see, this is what this tab is for, so I can put back the 3rd. So, 09/03/2025. And then I grabbed these stickers from the shop. I do not speak French, and so I'm not even going to attempt to butcher that, but I have physical, audiobook, and ebook stickers. Then this goes next to those to mark that that's what it was, and then I write my review. I will show you from last month. So I rate my review, and then I take these star rating stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. and I color in what the star rating is for that book. Some of them, like this one, I leave blank because I have a reading spreadsheet that G from Book Roast, who also does the Magical Readathon, she does the she makes the spreadsheet every year, so I calculate my star rating by that what's it called, by that calculation from the spreadsheet, and then I add it in here. Just realized, don't pay attention to this, these have spoilers in them. But yeah, so that is my reading journal. I hope that this all made sense and was cohesive and that you enjoyed it. I'm just trying this out, so I might change things up for next time, but I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for letting me babble. Bye!